Hello everyone, welcome to MBA Karo. Welcome to this series of high order thinking summer, and we are on day 11 of this series. And today we are going to cover one of the most sought after topics of CAT DILR, which is games and tournaments. Okay, although it is not necessary that you do get a set on games and tournaments, but it is something that people talk about a lot when they prepare for CAT. Now games and tournaments covers different kind of problems. Okay, so we shall see these things, that what all different types of sets you can get. So we are going to solve multiple sets in this video, and we will discuss like knockout tournaments, scoring based tournaments, schedule based tournaments, etc. So watch this class till end and try to solve the sets on your own first. If you are new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel for great content on MBA preparation. This is the schedule that we are following. I hope you have watched these 10 videos till now. If not, please do go and watch these videos. So if you watch this entire series of 30 days, I guarantee you that you are going to do pretty well in your examinations, be it CAT or any other MBA entrance examination. In case you are preparing for CAT 2024 and are looking for a structured preparation, okay, you can check out our course on CAT. And we provide section wise modules also. So in case you want to just prepare for DILR or Quant or VRC with us, you can check out those also. The link is given in the description of this video, and you can use the code HOT to get 20% off till 30th of June. So let's begin today's class, and please try to solve the set on your own and then look at the solution. So let's begin with the first set, which is about a knockout tournament. Okay, so I'll read this data for you to understand, make you understand what exactly the tournament is, and then we will solve the question. So it says the table below. The table is in the next slide. Okay, this table gives the listing of players seeded from highest to lowest 1 to 32 who are due to play in an Association of Tennis Players tournament for women. So highest to lowest, so this is that means their rank. Seed means rank 1 to 32. Okay, this tournament has 4 knockout rounds before the final. In the first round, the highest seeded players, the lowest seeded players, seed 32, designated as match number 1 of the first round. So match 1 is between 1 and 32. The second seeded player plays 31, so 2 versus 31, right? Third match is 3 versus 30, and so on. Thus, for instance, match number 16 of the first round is to be between 16 and 17. And then it says that like in the second round, the winner of match number 1 of the first round plays with the winner of match number 16 of the second round. So here we have the winner of M1 versus M16. Okay, then we will have M1 versus M15, M2 versus M15, M3 versus M14, and so on, right? In the third round, we will have M1 versus M8, M2 versus M7, and so on. So this is how the tournament goes on, right? So the first winner of the first match plays with the winner of the last match of the tournament. Okay, so this is given that for match number 8 of the second round will be played between match number 8 of the first round and the winner of match number 9 of, so 8 versus 9 in the second round, and so on. The same pattern is followed for later rounds as well. Okay, so the first match player wins and goes to the next round, right? Plays with the last winner of the last match. Second match, second last match. Third match, third last match, and so on. Okay. Now this is the table given to us, and we have to answer questions on it. Okay, so in case you know how to solve this question, great. For those who do not know, I will give you a brief understanding that how do we approach these particular questions. Now understand that whenever like these kind of tournament based questions are asked, there is something called a seed sum, right? So seed sum, if you saw the first round, it was 1 versus 32, 2 versus 31, 3 versus 30, 4 versus 29, and so on till 16 versus 17. Okay, now if you see this total is coming as 33, right? Now if you talk about the second round, this is round 1. If you talk about the second round, one will play against winner of this game. Now the ideal scenario is that player number 1 will win and player number 16 shall win. This is the ideal scenario, right? Unless a player beats another player, a lower ranked player beats another player, which is called an upset. This is going to happen. 2 will play against the winner of this match, that is 15 versus 18. So 2 will play against 15. 3 will play against the winner of this match, which is 14 versus 19. So 3 shall play against 14. So what do we notice? That the sum of these seeds is 17. Okay. Third round, we will have 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5. So seed sum is 9. Fourth round, we will have 1 versus 4, because 1 will play against last match, 2 will play against 3. So seed sum is 5. And in the last round, that is the final, round 5, we will have 1 versus 2. So the seed sum is 3. Okay. So the concept says that seed sum is 1 more than the number of players left. Number of players plus 1. Okay, so we will be using this concept to figure out the trajectory of the players, right? Okay, so this is what happens in case of ideal scenario, if a better player wins. So let's look at the question. The first question says, if Michelle Lee and An Seong lost in the second round, who would play against Tai Zhu Ying in the quarterfinals if Ying reached the quarterfinals? Now remember that the last round is the final, the round before it is semi-final, and the round before it is quarterfinal. Okay, so in quarterfinals you have 8 players, final में 2 players आते हैं, semi-final has 4 players or teams, and quarterfinals has 8. So quarterfinals there are 8 players. What should be the seed sum? The seed sum should be 9. Okay, seed sum is 9. So we are saying that who will play against Tai Zhu Ying? So Tai Zhu Ying is rank 1. So rank 1 will play against rank 8, isn't it? The ideal scenario is seed sum is 9. So it will be 1 versus 8. Now 8 is who? 8 is An Seong, right? What it is given that An Seong lost in the second round, right? So An Seong will not come. That was the ideal scenario if An Seong won the match. Now in the second round, the seed sum will be 17, because there are 16 players. Round 1 32, round 2 16 players. Seed sum is 17. Now seed sum 17 means it will be 8 versus 9. And who beats 8? 9 beats 8. So 9 will go to, again instead of this, that it will be player number 9. So player number 9 is He Bing Jiao. So the answer is He Bing Jiao. So that's how we attempt these questions. Let's move on to the next question. If the top 8 seeds make it to the quarterfinals, then who amongst the players listed below would definitely not play against Ursula V. Sindhu in the final? So we need to tell that who will not play against PV Sindhu in the final in case Sindhu reaches the final, right? So so far quarterfinals, the players have reached are like this: 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6, and 4 versus 5. Okay, so top 8 make to the quarterfinals. Now the match is 1 versus 8, right? So they will play against. So we need to find who will not play against PV Sindhu, right? So PV Sindhu is rank 7. So PV Sindhu is playing against this in this match. Okay, now we need to first just put the ranks, right? So T Zuyun is 1, Naomi Okuhara is 3, okay, then Akane is 5, and An Seong is 8. Right? 1, 3, 5, 8. We need to tell that who cannot play in the who cannot play against them in the final. So in the semi-final, see PV Sindhu is 7. So PV Sindhu goes to the semi-final. So it will be 7 versus, see, semi-final will be between these two teams and these two teams. So its semi-final will be 7 versus 3 or 6, right? Now if you see this, player number 3 cannot play against them in the final. Why? Because if player number 3 moves on to the next round, so they will play against in the semi-final itself. So if a team plays another player, if a team or a player plays against someone in the semi-final, they cannot play them again in the final. So that means the answer is Nozomi Okuhara. So player number 6 plays here itself, so it cannot be in the final. We can have others in the final, like for example 1 wins here, 1 can play against 7 in the final. 5 or 8, so 5 wins, okay, and then 5 wins and goes to the final. 8 wins, instead of 1, 8 wins, and 8 wins here to go to the final. So we can have all other possibilities. If there was a match between Pusarla v Sandhu and Saina Nehwal, the match must have been in which round? Okay, so in this case what we will do is we will find the trajectory of these players, right? And how do we find trajectories? Let us see this. So one is PV Sindhu and Saina Nehwal is ranked number 19. Okay, so we need to tell that how can they play in the so this is round 1, round 2, round 3, that is quarter final, round 4 is semi final, and round 5 is final. Okay, so when we talk about PV Sindhu and Saina Nehwal, so PV Sindhu the rank is 7 and Saina Nehwal the rank is 19. Okay, so round 1 the seed sum is 33, so it is 7 versus 26. Second round the seed sum is 17, 9 and then 5 and then 3. So 17 means it will be 7 versus 10. 9 means 7 versus 2, right? Now if you see like 5, you will say that 7 cannot qualify, right? Yes, you are right that if you are assuming that there is no upset. If there is upset, 7 will qualify, right? So ideal scenario, what will happen in the ideal scenario? So ideal scenario, 7 wins. Here 7 should lose, it should be 2 versus 3. And finally 2 should win and it should be 1 versus 2. So instead of 2, so if PV Sindhu, we have to make her move ahead in that tournament, so she should be player number 2, so it should be 7 versus 3 and 1 versus 7. Okay, so this is the trajectory that she will play against other players. Now we will do the same activity for Saina Nehwal. So first round it will be 14 versus 19, right? Now what we will do is we will find the ideal trajectory and then replace by Saina Nehwal. So 14, seed sum is 17, so 14 should win. This should be 3 versus 14, right? If this is 3, 3 should win. This should be 3 versus 6, right? And then 3, 2 versus 3, and then 1 versus 2. That is the ideal trajectory. Okay. Now 14 does not win, so it will be 3 versus 19. 3 does not win, so it is 19 versus 6. 19 does not win, so it will 6 does not win, so it will be 2 versus 19, and 2 does not win, it is 1 versus 19. Okay, so that means that if they move ahead, so 19 cannot encounter like if you see this, 19 cannot come across 7, they can come across the same in the final itself, right? So if you see that it is 19 versus 14, so 19 does not play against this player. 19 versus 3, 19 versus 6. Okay, so if you see this, 19 versus this is 19 versus 2. So 2, if 2 is beaten here, it is 19 versus 3 here. Now instead of 3 we have, see the trajectory, if you see this, 19 versus 3 is here, okay, and we are saying that it plays against player 3 in the semi-final. Okay, so they will happen to meet in the semi-final. So we do not have to find the complete trajectory, we just see that it is 19 versus 3 here, right? 19 versus 3, and we are seeing that PV Sindhu plays player 3 in the semi-final. So if 19 beats 3, 19 will be this player playing in the semi-final. So the answer is semi-final. If Carolina Marin is the winner of the tournament, she definitely would not have played the final against which of these players. So Carolina Marin is the winner. So rank 4 is the winner. So we will first find the trajectory of Carolina Marin and find the trajectory of others, like we did in the previous question. So if we find Carolina Marin, so round 1 it is 4 versus 29. Okay. Second round, see seed sum I will write here, 33, 9, 5 and 1. So it will win 4 versus 13, right? It should be 4 versus 5, right? Then it will be 4 versus 1, 1 versus 4, and this means 1 versus 2. So it will be 4 versus 2. Okay. So that's how the trajectory goes on. Now we will write these names: Akane Yamaguchi, that is player number 5, and then we have PV Sindhu is 7, then Chen is 2, and Nozomi is 3. So we need to tell who could not play the final against them, right? Now if you see this, 4 versus 5 happens in the third round, so you cannot play final against this player. Okay, that is for sure, because 4 versus 5 is directly played here. Others are possible. Let us say we find for others, so we can see 4 versus 2 is possible in the final. If we want to see how is 4 versus 3 possible, here the match will be 2 versus 3. So if instead of 2, 3 wins, 3 can go into the final and play. If you want to see how it is 4 versus 7, so here a match is 2 versus 7. If 2 does not win, 7 wins. So it is going to be 7 versus 3. Okay, and if 3 does not win, 7 wins, it could be 4 versus 7. So all others are possible. 4 versus 5 is not possible, because that will happen in the quarter final itself. If Ratchanok Internon faced an upset in the second round and the player who defeated her lost in the quarter final, which of these players could not have reached the semi-final? Okay, so don't worry about the names. Okay, look at the ranks. So 6 is an upset in the second round and the player who defeated her lost in the quarter final. Which of these players could not have reached the semi-final? Okay, so let's now look at the structures. So round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4 and round 5. So these are the seed sums that we have. Okay, so we need to track the trajectory of this player. Okay, so if you look at the first one, it says that faced an upset in the second round. So first is 6 versus 27. Okay, it will be 6 versus 11, right? And ideal trajectory, this is 6 versus 3, and then 2 versus 3 and 1 versus 2, right? So first we plot the ideal trajectory, then find the trajectory of this player. Now faced upset in the second round, that means it lost to 11 here. So instead of 6, it is 11 versus 3. Okay, now 11 versus 3 is a match, and now the question is that which of these players could not have reached the semi-final. Okay, so ideally it should be 2 versus 3 and so on. Let's look at these players. Saina Nehwal is in 19. Okay, so we will have to check for 19. Yeo Sia Min is 30. Okay, and then we have Beiwen Zhang. Beiwen Zhang is 14, and Line Christophersen is 27. Okay, now how do we find for these players? It is very simple. See, in the first round, 6 versus 27, right? Now 6 is facing an upset in the second round. It means that it went to second round. If it went to second round, that means it won here. If it won here, that means 27 was eliminated. So 27 could not have reached the semi-final. I mean, you do not have to draw the entire trajectory. Just you can see by putting in the options and see that 27 cannot move to the second round, because 27 is defeated in the first round itself. So it cannot move the semi-final. Others can reach the semi-final. You do not have to prove that how will others reach the semi-final. We have to tell who cannot reach the semi-final. So it is clear that This player number 27, Lyon Christopherson, could not reach the semi-final. Okay. Alright, so that was the first set. I hope you enjoyed solving the set. Here's the next one. It talks about the point table of a football tournament, and like you are given that each every nation played every other nation exactly once. Okay, and the positions are determined the maximum number of points followed by higher goal difference in case of tie points. Okay, so that is the condition given to us here, and we need to find out that what is we need to find the score lines of these games. Okay, so let's see that if you can get the scorings. Okay, so we are given this table, and we are given that each match results in a team winning against the other, or there is a tie. So in case of win, there is 3 points, and loss gives no point. Tie 1 points each. Okay, so additional information is given to us that all teams were on different number of points, and UAE beat Oman 2-1 in their encounter. Okay, so first question is very simple. It says that how many goals were scored against South Korea. So what is goals for and goals against? Goals for and goals against means that the total goals that you score, and like against means that goals against some country, that is called goals against. Okay, so let's say that if there is a match between these two countries, let's say there are three countries A, B, C. A versus B, B versus C, C versus A. A scored 5-2 in this match. Okay, BC is 3-1-3, CA is 2-4. Okay, so goals for A is 5 plus 4. So इसके goals for होगा A के 9, and goals against A is, this is 2 and this is 2. Goals against is 4. Goals for B is, B scored 2 goals here and 1 here, so 3 goals. And goals against B is 3 goals here and 5 here, 8. And goals for C is, goals scored by C, that is 3 plus 2, 5. And goals against is 1 plus 4, that is 5. Now one thing that we notice is the total goals scored for and against is same. Okay, so if you have to find the goals against South Korea, that will be the total of these two. So these two totals should match and you will get the values. Okay, so let's just add it, 25, and then we have 34, 36, 40, 42. So this 42 should be equal to 42. So 12, 21, 21 plus 12, 33, 37. So this gives us the answer as 5. Okay, easy question. Let us try to fill the table and then we will answer the remaining questions. Okay, so let's look at the next information. All teams were on different number of points. So if you are watching this solution, try to fill the table first and then look at the solution and then answer the questions. Okay, so the question is that all teams were on different number of points. Okay, so this has to be different. Right. So it has to be less than 2. Right, it can be 0 or 1. It has to be between 2 and 8. UAE beat Oman 2-1 in their encounter. So UAE beats Oman. Right, that is given to us. Now let us do some, let's fill in the information. So we are given that win gives you 3 points, right? Tie gives you 1-1, and loss is 0 points. So Iran, all teams will play how many matches? 5 matches, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 opponents. So Iran wins all 5 matches to make it 15. So 5, 0, 0. South Korea has 10 points. So it can be 3 wins, 9 and 1 tie. So it will be 1 loss match also. So total 10 points. Japan has 8 points. So it has to have 2 wins, 6 points, 2 ties, 8, and then there is 1 loss also. Okay. Now if you look at China will have 0 win, right? China has 0 win. There will be 2 tie matches, 2 points, and 3 losses. Now if you look at Oman, Oman should have less than 2 points. So Oman should have 0 wins. Okay. Now if Oman has 0 wins, so it will have, now we will have to think that how many loss or tie can it have, right? Will it lose all 5 matches or will it have a tie also? Now if you see this, there will be a match between China and Oman. There has to be a match between China and Oman, right? Because all teams are playing, every nation played every other country exactly once. So they have to play against each other. There has to be a match between China and Oman. Now, China has 0 wins, Oman has 0 wins. So none of them won the match. So what happened? What? That match was a tie. So China versus Oman is a tie match. So that means Oman gets 1 tied match. Now Oman cannot have more than 1 tie match because all teams have different number of points. So Oman can have 1 tie match and 1 point here and 4 losses. Now coming to UAE, UAE beat Oman 2-1 in their encounter. Okay, so UAE has at least 1 win, definitely 1 win, and it can have more also. Now UAE beat Oman 2-1. So UAE scored 2 goals. So that means it will not score any other goal in the entire tournament because 2 goals in 1 match only, right? So it cannot score any other goal. If it cannot score any other goal, it cannot win any other match. So UAE will have only 1 win. Okay. Now UAE has only 1 win. How to find the loss and tie? So see, total win is total loss. Like we have total for is total against. So we have total win is total loss. So if one team is winning, another team is losing the game. Okay. So this way we will have total wins is equal to total losses. So let us equate it, total wins as total losses. So we have 8, 10, 11 wins. So there will be 11 losses also. So if you have to make 11 losses, this is 4 and 4 plus 7, 2 plus 7 is 9 and we need to have 2 here to make it 11. Okay. So now we will have 2 tie matches also. So we can get the score line. So which is 1 point for a win and 2 for tie. So we have 5 points here. Okay. So this is completing the table. Now score lines, we do not need to worry about what is the score line in each. So let us look at the further questions. Okay. So this is how we will get the total table filled, like the number of wins, losses and goals and points. How many points did UAE score in the tournament? So we just discussed that UAE won 1 match and had 2 tie matches. So their total point is 5 points. How many matches of this tournament ended in a tie? Okay, a common mistake that people would make here is add 8 and mark 8 as the answer. Remember that how many matches are there? There are 6 teams. Each team plays 5 matches and each match involves 2 teams. So there are total of 15 matches. We said 11 wins, 11 losses. So that means 11 matches are win-loss scenario. So remaining 4 matches would be tie. Now why are we getting a double here? 8 tie matches. Why are we getting this total as 8? Suppose the match between like UAE and China is a tie. Just taking an example. If it is a tie match, then what will happen is that it's a tie match. So we will have 1 tie written here, 1 tie written here, UAE and China if it's a tie. So we are writing tie 2 times. Okay, so if we are writing A versus B is a tie match, we will write 1 tie for A, 1 tie for B. But match is only 1. So that is why in such tables, what you get as the total, divide by 2 to get the total number of tied matches. So there are 4 such tied matches. Which team won the match between Japan and UAE? Now this is an interesting question. And how do we figure out that Japan versus UAE? What will be the result? Okay. So first of all, let us look at the condition of Japan and UAE. How many wins and losses etc. they have. So if you see, Japan has 2 wins, okay, 1 loss and 2 tie. Now we will first try to find out there are 4 tie matches. Let's see if we can find the 4 tie matches. First of all, we know China versus Oman is a tie match. That we figured out because none of them has any win, and that means that if they play a match, that will be a tie match. Now let's look at this country, South Korea and Japan. South Korea versus Japan का match देखेंगे. So what will happen is South Korea has lost 1 match and Japan has lost 1 match. Both of them have lost 1 match. Against which team did they lose? So if you see Iran, Iran has won all 5 matches. So they lost against Iran. Both these losses come against Iran. So when South Korea and Japan play against each other, they cannot win a match, right? Because they have already lost 1 match against Iran. Okay, so they cannot have second loss. So that means South Korea versus Japan was a tie match. So South Korea versus Japan tie match. Now Oman 1 tie match is done. China 1 tie match remains, right? South Korea tie match is done. Japan 1 tie match remains, right? Now UAE has 2 tie matches. Okay. Now if you say that UAE versus Japan is a win, okay, suppose you win or loss, right? Then UAE के 2 tie match किससे होंगे? And see, China has a 1 tie match left. Suppose we say that China versus Japan is a tie. Okay, just taking an example that if China versus Japan was a tie, then UAE will play 2 tie matches against whom? It is not possible, right? For tie match, it has to be tie with some country. It is not that you cannot play like if it is win, it has to be loss for someone else. If it's a tie, it should be tie for other country also. So Japan cannot have China tie. So Japan versus UAE will be one of the tie matches. Japan versus UAE, and another tie match will be UAE versus China. So these are the 4 tie matches in the tournament. So Japan and UAE is a tie match. Alright, let's look at the next question. It says that what is the maximum possible combined number of goals in the match between South Korea and UAE? Okay, so good question to think of, that South Korea and UAE, what can be the maximum combined number of goals between South Korea and UAE? Now see, UAE, it scored 2 goals, 2-1 in the encounter. So UAE has already scored 2 goals. So UAE score is 0. South Korea versus UAE the score is 0, isn't it? Because UAE has not scored any other goal. It has scored only 1 goal, that is against Oman. 2 goals, that is against Oman. Now we will have to think that we need to find the maximum number of goals in the match between South Korea and UAE. Now before looking for South Korea, let us see UAE goals against is 6. Okay. And UAE, if you see, it beat Oman in the 2-1 in the encounter. So 1 goal is by Oman. Okay. So we have to make a total of 6. So 1 goal is by Oman. So these 6, 1 is by Oman. UAE versus, in the previous question we saw that UAE versus Japan is tie, UAE versus China is tie. Okay. Japan and China, it is a tie match. Now UAE is scoring 0 goals in other matches, right? In all other matches it is scoring 0 goals. Only in that match it is scoring 2 goals. So Japan versus, so UAE versus Japan will be 0-0, then only it can be a tie. And similarly UAE versus China will be 0-0, then it will be a tie. So 0 goals by this, 0 goals by this. Okay. Now total is 6. Now 2 teams are left to play. One is Iran, another is South Korea. Okay. So Iran is winning. So we need to find the maximum combined number of goals between South Korea and UAE. UAE is 0. So South Korea should have maximum number of goals. Now if you have to get the maximum number of goals of South Korea, all others should be minimum. Okay, because this is fixed. So Iran should have minimum number of goals. Now UAE is scoring 0 goals, right? So even if Iran score 1 goal, UAE will lose, right? Because UAE is not scoring any other goal in any of the other matches apart from Oman. Okay, so Iran will score minimum 1 goal. So if this is 1, then we will have a maximum of 4 goals here. That makes the answer 4. So maximum is 4-0, by which UAE will get beaten. So UAE's score is going to be 0, and maximum it can have 4 goals by South Korea. So 4-0 is the total is 4. So I hope you are enjoying this series and this session thus far. So don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends. Now we were going to do the next set. Please read the instructions and then we will solve it. So in case you do not want to solve it on your own, try to solve it on your own and then only look at the solution to this set. So this set says that that there is a tournament, and this tournament is basically of 6 TD players, and it says that they participated in a tournament that was played across 5 days, and each player played exactly 1 match each day. So each player plays exactly 1 match each day. Every player played exactly 1 match against every other player during the tournament. So every day we have 3 matches. 3 matches into 5 days, we will have a total of 15 matches. And of course, if there are 6 players, each player will play against every other player once. So that way also the total number of matches is 15 matches. Okay, so we have 15 matches in this tournament, and every day each player will have 1 match. Okay, so each match consists of only 1 set. Each set has multiple games, and the person who wins 11 games first with a lead of at least 2 is the winner of that particular match. So what you need to do is you need to score to 11 points to win the match. Okay, so the player which reaches 11 points is the winner of the match. Now one interesting thing that is given about here is the lead of 2. So in order to master this topic, games and tournaments, one thing which I would like to request you is to read about different sports, different winning patterns, etc. Now what does lead of 2 means? I'll explain it to you. So for example, the winning number is 11. So if you reach 11, other opponent can be at 0, you will win. 11-1 you can win, 11-2, 3, 4, 5 and so on till 9, 11-9 you can win. Okay, so if your score is still 11-9 you can win, but you cannot have a score of 11-10. 11-10 कैसे होगा? Like if 2 players reach 10-10, then it becomes a score of 10-10 पहुंच गया. So now a person cannot win with 11-10. So one has to have a lead of 2. So that means you will win 12-10. Okay. Suppose the score has reached after 11-10, it has reached 11-11. You cannot win at 12-11. So you have to win by 13-11, 14-12. So whenever it is more than 11, so it has to be a lead of 2. And if it is 11 or less, it can be any lead up to 9. So if you see a larger score, that means it is a lead of 2. So for example, like if you look at this table, this is 14-12. So 14-12 is the match. So if someone is scoring 14, that means it has got beyond the threshold limit, and then it can be only lead of 2. It cannot be like 14 versus 7. Okay, so you will win at 11 itself. But if it is more than 11, it is definitely lead of 2. Okay. So it says the match continues till one of the players has managed such a lead. This table gives the number of games won by each player on each of the 5 days, right? And we need to find out that who has played against whom in which match and won against which player. Alright, so let's fill it. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. Okay, so there are 5 days and each day 3 matches are being played. It gives that there is 3 matches because 6 players, each player plays 1 match. So there will be 3 players playing 6 matches. Okay. All right, so now let's look at that which match is which. So if you look at Monday, like 13 means 13 versus 11. Now 13 versus 11 can be anyone like Leena, Madhu or Urja. We cannot tell from just this information. Okay. Now if you look at the this day, so it has to be 14 versus 12 and 13 versus 11. Like if you see 14, it has to be exactly 14 versus 12. Now who is 14? Urja and Jyoti. So one match is Urja versus Jyoti. Okay, so this is done. Okay, so I'll keep knocking off the table. Now 13 versus 11 can be this or this, right? And in first day also it can be 11-9, 11-8. Which one is which we cannot tell, right? But just we know that the score lines. Now on Wednesday, 11 versus 9, 11 versus 7 and 11 versus 9. We have no idea who plays which match. On Thursday, it is 14 versus 12. So 14 versus 12 can happen only in this case, that is Leena versus Jyoti. Right? So Leena versus Jyoti. Now Friday, we will see that it is 11. So 11 versus 8, 4, 6. But who wins against who? Not sure. Okay. Now let's do one thing. Since we have filled the data for Jyoti twice, right? So let's look for Jyoti. On Monday, Jyoti has 13 points, right? So Jyoti will win by 13-11. So it could be Jyoti versus Leena, but Jyoti Leena is already done on Wednesday, so it is not Jyoti versus Leena. It could be Jyoti versus Madhu, right? Or Jyoti versus Urja. Now Jyoti versus Urja is done on Tuesday. So if you see Tuesday, it is Jyoti versus Urja. So we cannot have Jyoti versus Urja on Monday. So it has to be Jyoti versus Madhu. So Jyoti wins against Madhu on Monday. Okay. So this is also done. This 13 versus 11 is done. So it has to be between these two and these two. Right. Similarly, the 13 versus 11 cannot still be figured out. So now let us do one thing. Let us find first fill for Jyoti, because for Jyoti we know the matches on 3 days. Now she has to play 2 other players. Okay. One is like if you look at Wednesday. So Jyoti has played against Jyoti is still to play against Kusum and Nisha. Okay. Kusum and Nisha, the matches are remaining. Now if you see Jyoti cannot play against Kusum on Friday, because 8 versus 4 is not a possible match. You have to make a score of 11 to win the match. So Jyoti versus Kusum cannot happen on Friday. So it has to be Jyoti versus Nisha. So Nisha wins against Jyoti, and hence we will have Jyoti versus Kusum on Wednesday. Jyoti versus my bad, this was written here, so this is here, and on Wednesday we will have Jyoti versus Kusum. Okay, so this is how we get the matches of Jyoti. Okay, so first day it is Jyoti versus Madhu. Okay, then Urja versus Jyoti. Right. Wednesday Jyoti versus Kusum. Then we have Leena versus Jyoti, and then on the final day we have Nisha versus Jyoti. Okay, so these are the 5 matches of Jyoti that are done. Right. Now if you look at this table, it has to be 11 versus 8 and 11 versus 6, so they cannot play against each other. Okay, and similarly if we see this, 11 versus 11 cannot happen, so it has to be 11-7, 11-9, or like basically we can find out that which players can play against each other. So we cannot have 11 versus 11 together. Okay, so we have figured out all the matches of Jyoti thus far. Now let's look at 2 players and see how they can play against each other. Okay, so for example, let's look at Kusum, and next is Kusum versus Leena. Okay, so Kusum versus Leena can happen on this day or this day. Okay, so we cannot tell Kusum versus Leena which day. Similarly, let's look at some other pair. Like let's look at Leena and Madhu. Okay, Leena versus Madhu. So let's look at alternate rows, so it becomes easy for us to guess, like adjacent rows. So Leena versus Madhu cannot happen on Monday. Leena versus Madhu cannot happen on Tuesday because it is 8:30. This 11-11 is not a possible match. So only day we can have Leena versus Madhu is on Wednesday. Okay, so Madhu beats Leena on Wednesday. So the third match is between Urja and Nisha. Okay, so we get all the matches of Wednesday. Okay, so these are the score lines of this. Now next we have Madhu versus now if you look at these Thursday, right? So Kusum has to play against Nisha or Urja, and similarly Madhu has to play against Nisha or Urja. Okay, possible, anything is possible for this day. Let's look at this day. This is 11 versus 8 or 11 versus 6. Or let's find out. Nisha Urja is done, and Madhu and Nisha. So we'll have to figure out which two pairs can we make. So Kusum Urja, can we make? Two possibilities. Okay, 11-5 is also possible. 9-11 is also possible. Leena and Urja. So let's see Leena and Urja. Okay, so Leena and Urja we cannot have on Monday because 11-11. Leena Urja not possible this day. Not possible this day. Leena Urja not possible this day. So Leena versus Urja is possible only on Friday. Okay, Leena versus Urja. So you need to look at two players and see on what day can we have the match. So Leena versus Urja can happen only on Friday because on Monday it is 11 versus 11. So one match is Leena versus Urja, which is 11-6. So the remaining match is Madhu versus Kusum. Okay, so this is done. Now we have two matches remaining here, 2-2 on each of the days, right? Now if you see on Tuesday, right, we just filled Madhu versus Kusum. So Madhu has to play against a player scoring 11 points. So Madhu versus Kusum is not possible on Tuesday. So it has to be Madhu versus Nisha because Madhu has to win by 2 points. So Madhu has to win 13-11. So it is Madhu versus Nisha and Kusum versus Leena. Okay, so this is also done. Now on Monday, Kusum cannot play Leena because we have just filled Kusum versus Leena here. So Kusum has to play against 11 point. So it is Urja versus Kusum, 11-9, and hence Leena versus Nisha, that is 11 and 8. Okay. Now we will fill for Thursday. So it is Kusum versus Nisha or Urja. Okay. So Kusum versus Urja is done. So it has to be Kusum versus Nisha, that is 11-7, and Madhu versus Urja. Okay, which is 11-5. So this is how we will fill the table. So how did we start? We started with that 2-point gap thing. Okay, and we figured out some of the matches like 14-12 and especially 14-12. These two were filled, and then we saw that the common person was Jyoti. So we were able to figure out the matches of Jyoti. Once we figured out the matches of Jyoti, we looked at two consecutive players and figured out on which day they can play. Given the condition that if you score 11 points, then you can have any margin of victory. But if you score more than 11, then it has to be a 2-point victory. So we can find the result of all 15 matches. Okay, so these matches are not necessarily in one particular order. It is just that on this particular day, 3 matches were played and what were the outcomes of the matches. And based on the score line, you can tell that who wins which of the matches. Who among the following did not win a match on Monday? So on Monday it is Jyoti versus Madhu. So Jyoti is the winner. Okay, Leena versus Nisha. So Leena is 11 and Nisha. So Leena is also winning. Then we have Jyoti versus Madhu, right? So Jyoti beat Madhu by 11, 13-11. So Madhu did not win because Madhu lost to Jyoti, and Urja also won her match. How many games did Madhu win? So you will have to check Madhu versus Jyoti. Okay, so Madhu versus Jyoti. Jyoti is 13, Madhu is 11. So this is lost. Okay, second day it is Madhu versus Nisha. So Madhu is 13. So definitely that's a win. Okay, and Wednesday it is Madhu is 11, and so obviously that's a win. And on Thursday we have Madhu versus Urja. That is again a win. And on Friday it is 11 versus less only, so that is win. Okay, so Madhu wins 4 matches out of 5. On which day did Leena play against Jyoti? So Leena versus Jyoti happened on Thursday. Which of the following games was played on Friday? Leena versus Kusum? No. Madhu versus Urja? No. Nisha versus Jyoti? Yes, that is a match played on Friday. Okay, so this was the solution to the set and answers to the questions. It was mapping of scores by using this concept of lead of 2. Alright, so let's now look at the next set. Look at the set, try to solve it, and then I will start with the solution. And like if you are unable to hit the solution, then you can watch the solution to this video. So it says that there are 8 cricket teams A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and they participated in a tournament whose first stage is a round robin stage. A round robin stage means each team plays every other team once. Okay, so that is the condition here. So you will have to draw a table like this. So this is the table which we will fill. Okay, so A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So this is versus this. Okay. Now it says no match ended in a draw or tie. So all matches are well-lost matches. Hong Kong won all the matches. Okay, so what we will do? We'll write win, 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 win. So Hong Kong has 7 wins. Now if Hong Kong won all the matches, so all teams lost against Hong Kong. Okay, so we will fill, like you have to fit it 2 dimension, right? If you will fill win like this, you will have to fill lost vertically. Okay, so this is done. Germany won against Belgium but lost to Estonia. So Germany wins against Belgium and lost against Estonia. So similarly, Belgium will lose against Germany. Okay, and Belgium will Estonia will win against Germany. Okay, so that you need to fill both things parallelly. The number of matches won by Austria, Belgium and Denmark is 3 each. Austria, Belgium and Denmark 3 each. Achha, one thing you need to keep in mind is total wins kitni hongi. So there are 8 teams. Each team plays 7 matches and 1 match involves 2 teams. So we have 28 matches. So each match is ending in a win or loss. Total wins is 28. So that also you need to keep in mind. Now we can find using this data. So Austria, Belgium and Denmark, they will win 3 matches each, and no other team wins 3 matches. So like if a team is winning 3 matches and 1 match is left, so we will have to mark it a win to make it 4. Okay, or suppose that a team is winning 2 matches and 1 match is unknown, so we will mark it as a loss so that it does not end up having 3 wins, right? That is the logic that you need to keep in mind. Canada won only 2 matches against Belgium and Denmark. So Canada has 2 wins, Belgium and Denmark. Okay, so Canada wins against Belgium, Canada wins against Denmark. So Belgium will lose against Canada and Denmark will also lose against Canada. Okay, so you'll have to fill things parallelly. Now one thing that we can get here is we have 11, 18. So these 3 teams combined will have 10 wins. Okay, combined 10 wins only, and none of them can be 3, right? So that is one thing we need to keep in mind. Denmark lost to France. So Denmark loses against France. So that means France won against Denmark. Okay, so that is there. Then we are given Austria won against Belgium, Canada and Estonia. Belgium, Canada, Estonia. So of course these three will lose against Austria, Belgium, Canada and Estonia. Belgium, they lose against Austria. Okay. Now see this thing. Now we will have to complete the table, keeping in mind that no one will else should have 3 wins and this data, right? So Austria has 3 wins. 3 wins are done. So the remaining are loss. So the remaining teams will win against Austria, right? Okay. Now Belgium has 3 wins. We see only the losses in the table thus far. Okay. So the remaining 3 matches have to be wins. Win. So against Belgium, these 3 teams will lose. Okay, so Denmark, Estonia and FC France will lose against Belgium. Okay, so these 3 are done. These 2 countries are done. Now Canada, 2 wins are done. Okay, so Canada will lose the remaining matches. Okay, and other teams will win against Canada. Okay, all right. Now 2 is done. This is 1 win and we need to have total 3 wins. So that means Denmark will win both the matches and both teams will lose here. Okay, so this 3 is also done, right? Now this 7 is done, this is done. So basically we are just left with a handful of matches, very few matches. Now see this thing, the team has like, why did I put G here? E is G. So Estonia versus Germany won against Belgium but lost to Estonia. Okay, so Estonia wins against Germany. I hope I have filled it correctly, that Germany lost against Estonia. Yeah, so that is correct. So this is 2 wins thus far. Okay, now as I told you that no other team has 3 wins. So if you make it win, then it becomes 3. So we will not make it as a win. So we will have a loss here. So it lost to France. So France won against Germany. France won against Estonia. So it has 2 wins, right? Now we have to make 10. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 wins. Okay. Suppose and this has 3 wins, right? Win. So iski 3 chal rahi hai, iski 4 chal rahi hai. 1 match is remaining. So if we make it, if this country loses here, it will end up in 3, which is not possible. So it should win this match. So if Germany wins against France, France should lose against Germany. So they will have 4 and 4 wins. Now this completes the table. You can have a quick look at the table and see that the total wins are as per the condition. Okay, and if you match 3 wins, 3 wins, 1, 2 wins. Okay, 1, 2, 3 wins, 2 wins, 4 wins, 4 wins and 7 wins. So total adds up to 28. So if you see the table horizontally and vertically, you will see that it is the complementary of that. How many matches did France win? So we can say that France won 4 matches. How many matches did Germany lose? So Germany wins 4 matches. So Germany will lose 3 matches. Estonia won against which all teams? So Estonia has 2 wins. One is C and one is G. So Canada and Germany. Which teams won the minimum number of matches? Okay, so there are 2 teams that won 2 matches. One is Estonia and one is Canada. How many teams won 4 matches? So we have 2 teams, France and Germany. They won 4 matches each. So this was like about formulating the table, how good you are at making the table of the problem and solving it. I hope you are enjoying this session thus far, so please don't forget to like this video and watch this entire series. That will help you quite well in your preparation for CAT. Okay, so here's the next set and read the set. It is about a volleyball match somewhat similar to that we did previously, wherein the score line was 11. Here the score line is slightly different, but the 2-point margin thing comes here as well. So it says that volleyball matches are played in 5 sets. Okay, the first 4 sets are played to 25 points, while the final set being played to 15 points. So we have 5 sets. So first 4 sets we have 25, and the final is 15 points, right? Now what happens is, a team must win by a set by at least 2 points. So if you watched that previous set in which we did that 11-point game, you must have understood what does that 2-point difference mean. Okay, so if you are, let's say the score is 25, so you can win by 25-1, 25-2, 25-3, 4 and so on till 23, but you cannot make it 25-24. That's not a valid score. So it has to be 25 versus 20, like if you have to make it 24, so you will make it 26-24, 27-25 and so on. Okay, there is no ceiling, so as a set continues till one of the teams gain 2-point advantage. So this 2-point advantage rule is a good one to know. A match was played between India and Pakistan, in which some information is given to us, and then there are 5 sets. It says that that only 3 sets finished with the minimum threshold points. So 3 sets minimum threshold pe complete. Okay, so 2 points will go to the 2-point advantage. Okay, the total score of the 5 sets of India and Pakistan were 108 and 116 respectively. However, India won 3 sets. India, the total points is less, but they won 3 sets. Okay, so we will make a table like this: India versus Pakistan, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the total. Okay, so total is 108, and Pakistan the total is 116. Okay, and India wins on 3 occasions. Okay. The total score of India in one of the sets was the same as the score of Pakistan in one of the other sets. Both of them lost their respective sets as a different margin. Okay, so that information we will use later. We cannot find that score. Okay, that is a matching information to reject a particular case. Then Pakistan scored 23 points in one of the sets. Now 23 points, if it scores in this kind of a set, then what will happen is so India has to score 25, because you cannot win by 23 points, right? Either you win at 15 or you win at 25. So we are scoring 23 here, India must have scored 15 here. Or there is another possibility that Pakistan scored 23 in that line. This is a special set. Okay, special set means it is played up to 15 points only. So if Pakistan scores 23 points here, India would have scored 21 in this game. Okay, so there are 2 possibilities. So we will fill these possibilities. So let's make another case like this. So we will keep this in mind and fill it later. The score of Pakistan was the same in 2 of the sets in which it won one of the sets. Okay, so 2 sets score is same, score of India is same as Pakistan, so that we will have to match later. In one of the sets, the final score of India was less than half of Pakistan's. Okay, so half of Pakistan, so less than that is the score of India. There were only 3 sets in which a team won by exactly 2-point advantage. So 3 sets of 2-point advantage. What does this mean? 2-point advantage कब होता है? 2-point advantage can happen at like threshold पे भी हो सकता है, या फिर extension पे भी हो सकता है. Let's call it a threshold set, right? So here it says, right, there are 3 sets that finished in threshold points. So one is the threshold point. Threshold point means like at 25 you are the winner. Okay? And another is extension, right? So 2-point advantage can happen in threshold, it can happen in extension. So there are 3 sets that finished with minimum threshold points. So that means 2 matches were extended. Now if a match is extended, it is always 2-point advantage. So there are two matches where the match got extended. Okay, and that means there should be one match of threshold with a 2-point difference. Now it could be 25-23 or it can also be 15-13. Okay, we are not sure, but that is the case here. Okay, now last is the maximum score by any team in the 5 sets was 30 and the minimum was 12, right? So if the maximum is 30, the match is 30 and 28. So one of the scores is 30-28, right? All right, so let us now start putting the values. Let us make some table and see that what could be the score line in those matches. Okay, so we said that Pakistan scored 23 points in one of the sets. So either it is here or it is in some of the other normal sets. Okay, so let's make this another table like India versus Pakistan. So one possibility is Pakistan scores 23 here. So India will score 21, isn't it? And another score is that Pakistan scores 23 here and India scores a 25, right? Because last one is a special set. See, it does not mean that the order of other sets is irrelevant, right? It is not necessary that it happens in the first set. It can happen in second, third, fourth, because all other sets are identical in nature. The fifth set is special. Okay, that is one information. Then one information is given that in one of the sets the final score of India was less than half of Pakistan's. Okay, so winning कहाँ पे हो रही है? Winning happens in 25 or 15. Okay, अगर less than half है, that means it is as a threshold set. Threshold वाला set होगा, because otherwise if it is an extended set you win by 2 points, right? So threshold set है, so that means it should be less than 12.5, it should be less than 7.5. Also given that the minimum score is 12, so that means this is not possible. So there is a set which is 25-12. That's what we get from the combined statements. One statement says that India's total was less than half of Pakistan, and second information says that that this particular the minimum was 12. So combining these two, we get that one of the sets ended in 25-12 with Pakistan scoring 25 and India 12. Okay, so एक definite set ही है, Pakistan 25 and India 12, and Pakistan 25 and India 12. Okay, now if you look at this case, what has happened is Pakistan has won both these matches, so India should win all these 3 matches. Okay, now if you see 12 plus 21, total is 33. So we need 75 more points in this. 75 बनाना है. Now India should win, so minimum 25 चाहिए win करने के लिए, isn't it? If India has to win, it has to score minimum 25, right? Minimum. So that means no threshold, and we are saying that one of the highest score is 30. So 30 is not achieved in any of the matches in this player. So this case gets eliminated. So what was the case here? That Pakistan makes 23 points in the final set. So this means Pakistan did not score 23 points in the final set. Pakistan had a 23 point in one of these sets. Okay, and in one of these sets it is 12 versus 25. Okay, so final score is that final set goes to that it may get to an extended version, but not beyond it. So now it says that like 3 sets, so 2 sets will finish. This is a threshold set, this is a threshold set, there will be one more threshold set. Okay, alright, now we will find the remaining points, right? 48, this is remaining points is 68, and remaining point is here it is 37-71, right? एक चीज़ ही हो गई. And then we have 2-point advantage, so there have to be 2 more wins with 2-point advantage. Okay, that is one more thing. And what else we know is these things we will use in the end. The score of India in one of the sets was same, and the score of Pakistan is same, that we will use later. Okay, in one of this is done, only 3 sets, 2-point margin, so we'll have to put, so out of these 3 sets, 2 sets will be 2-point margin. Okay, and this is one 2-point margin, so there have to be one threshold set, one more threshold set, Now if there is an extended set, see there are 2 extended sets and 3 threshold sets. So 2 extended sets will have 2 point margin. तो 2 extended set यहाँ पे आएंगे and there will be 1 threshold set that will not have a 2 point margin. Okay, so 1 threshold set and 2 extended sets that we need to fill in. Now what other information that does not solve the purpose of filling this data. Now one information is one team is scoring 30 points, right? So if a team scores 30 points, it has to win by 30-28. तभी win होगा 30-28 because if it is extending the threshold limit, then you have to win by 2 points. So that means either it is Pakistan or India. ठीक है, तो एक काम करते हैं, let's first make Pakistan give 30 points and then we will see with India. So let's say if Pakistan gets 30 points, Pakistan gets 30 points, India should get 28 in this. Now Pakistan has won this match, India should win these 2 matches. Now total remaining is 43 in these 2 matches, and for Pakistan the remaining is 38, right? That's what we get from this information. Now this is that extended match and 2 point advantage, so there has to be 1 extended match and 1 threshold match. Okay, and India has to win both these matches. Okay, one is threshold, one is extended. Suppose this is threshold match. Okay, so India should make 25 points, right? And then if this is extended, then India will make 18 points. Okay, so 18 points, then it has to be 16 because like this is an extended match, and this will be 16 38, that is 22, right? That will be the score line of this match. If we assume that this is the extended match and this is the threshold match. Okay, now let us see one thing. Now let's evaluate these 2 conditions. Score of India in one of the sets was same of score in Pakistan in one of the other sets. Both teams lost their respective matches. Okay, India and Pakistan same match, 25-25, no other score, and they are not losing, right? India is winning and Pakistan is winning. So this case does not solve the purpose. So let's say that this match was not the extended one, okay, and this was the extended one. So if we make it a threshold game, it will be 15-13, and extended means 28 and 25. Okay, again if we see this, it says that India in one of the sets was same of score as Pakistan in other set, both of them lost. So India and Pakistan 25 each, right? Both of them are winning. Okay, so 25 and 25, India is not losing here, so that also does not fit. And score of Pakistan was same in 2 of the sets, in which one of the sets. Okay, so this is matching, right? 25 is the same score and it is winning one of the sets. But this condition is not being satisfied anywhere, that India is same as Pakistan and both of them are losing. So India and Pakistan 25 is common, right? But Pakistan is losing at 25, India is not losing at 25. So this means that our assumption of this 30 point is wrong. So we shall now proceed with 30-28 this way and see the result. So India wins by 30-28, okay, and this was 71, 37, 67. So these 2 remaining total is 41, and this is 76. The remaining total is 38. Right now, India has won this match. Pakistan has won this match. India has won this match. So one will be India, one is Pakistan. Now this is extension match. So there will be one more extension match and one threshold match. Okay, and one of these matches, the extension match will have a 2 point advantage that we know of. Okay, now let us say that like one of them has to be a threshold match. Okay, so threshold match, if we take 25 as the threshold here, so if we take 25, that is 16. Okay, now can India make 25 here? Because if India makes 25 and it's a threshold match, So India will win, and India has to make 16 here, okay, and lose, then Pakistan should make 18 to win, because if this is India is winning, then Pakistan should win the last match, okay, and then it will be 16 and 18, okay. Pakistan wins this match, so Pakistan should be 20. Now let's check out for these conditions. Pakistan scored same in 2 matches, that is not happening, so this is also not possible. Suppose this is not a threshold match, this is a threshold match, and or we can take the other way around also. We said that this was a threshold match, this is an extended match, and this is the threshold match. And what we took India as the winner here, right? We took India as 25 and winning the match. Suppose India loses this match but wins this match, and this is a threshold match, okay. So if India wins this match and it's a threshold match, India will have 15 points. So India should have 26 points here, okay, in order to make it total 108. Now this is a threshold match and this is an extended match. So extended match means there is a difference of 2 points, okay. So 28 and 38 will have 10 points in this match. Okay, so that's how we get it. So let's just take the total. 48 plus 56, 104. So sorry, it should be 12. Let's just check it, because इसका पहले था 48, 76, 42 बनना था, 40 बनना था. So just check it, like it is 15 and 12. So what we did was, like one of them is an extended, one is threshold. So we took this as threshold. We did not get a result. So we tried to put this as threshold and make India win, okay. And you can try with Pakistan win also. Now we will see the conditions. It says Pakistan was the same in 2 sets in which it won one of the sets. So Pakistan having 28 points, it is winning in this case and it is losing in this case. So this condition is satisfied now, okay. Then score of India in one of the sets was same as score of Pakistan in one of the other sets. Both of them lost their respective sets by a different margin, okay. So Pakistan 25-25, India is not like losing in this scenario. It can be 12-12, right? So the score of India is same as that of Pakistan, 12-12, and both of them are losing by different margin. So it is losing by 13 points and losing by 3 points. So this condition is also satisfied. So this completes the overall information. All the points are matching. You can just re-verify it and see that all these points are matching in the solution. So this is the solution. Okay, so we will just write it in a neat way so that you don't get any confusion. Now last set is unique and the remaining 4 sets are identical. They can be arranged in any way. So 25 and 12, 30, 26 and 15. This is 23, 25, 28, 28 and 12. So what was the score of India in the 5th set? In the 5th set, India scored 15 points. Now remember that it's a theta question. So in case you are not going to solve this set, you could just mark 15 randomly, because there is a high chance last set 15 tak ja raha hai. So just a wild guess that India wins that at the threshold point, you could get marks. Okay, though this is some techniques that people use to increase their marks. In how many sets was the score of Pakistan an even number? So we have 1, 2, 3. 3 sets, Pakistan got an even score. Which of these denotes the margin by which India won one of the sets? So India won this by 2 points. Okay, India lost this. India wins by 2 points. India wins by 3 points. So India won by 3 points in one of the sets. The score of Pakistan was the same in 2 of the sets. What was the score? So that same score was 28 points. Which of these is not the final score of India in any of the sets? So India has 25 points in the sets. 26 is also present. 28 is not present. So basically 30 is also present. 28 is not the final score in any of the sets. Okay. So this was the solution to the set, which was quite a challenging one. and required good play of numbers as well and the answers to these questions. Okay, so there is one more set for you to solve in the comments of this video. Try to take a screenshot, solve this set, and you can comment your answer. If you are unable to solve this set, I will share you the link in which you can find the solution of this set. So I hope you enjoyed this session on games and tournaments. We solved moderate to difficult level sets. You got to know how to solve basically knockout tournaments, that how do you find the match, which player plays against which other player. You understood the concept of 2-point margin. You understood how to fill in the tables of win loss, okay, wherein it involves a round robin league tournament. So we had a variety of sets, and in case you are preparing for CAT and are looking for a structured preparation, you can enroll in our CAT 2024 batch. And in case you want to get the PDF of this class, please join our Telegram group, and there you will get the PDFs of all these video sessions that we are conducting. And I hope you enjoyed this series and this particularly this video. So don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel, and please watch this entire series of 30 days. I'm guaranteeing you that if you have learned something from this series, that is definitely going to boost your score in CAT and other MBA entrance examinations. So that's for this class. Thanks for watching the class. Have a great day ahead.